Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous two-time champs and feel the power. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
It's a new day. Yes, it is. Hope you're having a blessed day on this Wednesday. Morning or afternoon, depending on where you're at. Blue cup. Not red cup. Can I tell you a story? A story about Jerry Jones. Now, some names and some dates and other things will be changed to protect the guilty. This story takes place approximately 10 years ago, maybe a little later. It was at the Super Bowl. I won't tell you which Super Bowl, but it was one of the Florida Super Bowls. Miami, Tampa Bay. Back then, there was a lot of Super Bowl parties. They don't have as many Super Bowl parties as they used to back in the day. But back then, man, Thursday, Friday, actually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a plethora of Super Bowl parties. And your boy, that's me, was in his prime back then. And I was at every one of those parties. Every one of those parties. That was prime Rob back then. I used to do a lot of red carpets. I hate red carpets now. I don't do red carpets anymore. Right now, it's either, hey, by 10 o'clock, I'm probably at the hotel in bed watching YouTube's about to go to sleep. Ain't nothing out here for a triple OG like me after midnight. Only bad things happen after midnight. They kill reporters now. But back then, oh yeah, I was hitting them all up. ESPN, Maxim, Playboy. I was at all the parties. And I'd be on these red carpets, and then I go into the party or whatever. So I was at this particular party, and I was on the red carpet. And you know how the red carpet goes. You know, they had the journalists, the reporters on one side, and all the athletes and the entertainers on the other side or whatever. I was standing on a little rafter while all of the athletes and the entertainers was coming by. Jerry Jones made an appearance, and he was with his wife. Very lovely lady, very nice lady. And Jerry didn't really want to do any interviews. So he was walking through the red carpet fairly briskly with his wife. And that's cool. A lot of the athletes, a lot of the entertainers, they don't want to stop and talk. They want to get in, get the drink on, and whatever it may be. So Jay was moving. He was moving. Him and his wife was moving through this red carpet. There's somebody, a journalist, caught Jerry's eye. And Jerry slowed down a bit. The walk got a little more smooth. You know what I'm saying? He got a little more cool with his walk. And he let his wife walk a little ahead of him. Just a little bit ahead of him. And Jerry kind of eased back a little bit. His wife was waving and shaking hands and how you doing? And Jerry was just kind of playing in the background. And this journalist tried to say, yeah, Jerry, you got some time to talk? Jerry, no. And he smoothly kind of walked past her. Then he looked back at her. And he turned his head like this. And he looked her dead in her eye. And he said, you know something? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Gave her a wink and a smile. There was more to the story, but I can't tell what happened after that. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Jerry likes the chocolate. Don't let Jerry fool you. Yes, he was part. He was sitting there watching them not let black kids in high school back in the day. He's done some suspect things back in the day and currently. But Jerry likes the chocolate. He looked back and saw that old peanut butter skin. Jerry looked back like this. He took a long look. The sweet, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Jerry's crazy. Jerry's wild. I never forget that. I also will never forget what happened later on, but that's a story that I can never tell. I had to say that one for the memoirs. I had to make some money off of that story. What happened after that? I gotta wait till Jerry's not here no more for that. Jerry Jones is Vince McMahon. He's the Vince McMahon of the NFL. You know, if you watch wrestling, and of course everything is wrestling, over the years, over the decades, you understand, showmanship and how to make money to some are the most important things. Control is the most important thing. Jerry is Vince McMahon. He wants the control. He wants to be he's front facing. He wants to be the center of attention. He wants to have all of his hands in the cookie jar. I have not seen the Dallas Cowboys head coach in a month. Every time there's a game, and I follow a lot of the Dallas beat reporters. I'm friends with them, known them for long periods of time, like Clarence and Calvin and JJ and all of them. Newey Scruggs. And when the game is over, nobody goes to the coach's press conference. They go find Jerry. And the scrum, you would think he was Michael Jackson. The way the scrum is. So Jerry Jones is the coach, the GM, the owner, the PR guy, the host. He's everything to the Dallas Cowboys. And I think Cowboy fans, I think you fake it. I think you like it. I think you love it. I know you haven't won a Super Bowl since, Hammer was hot, but I think you like being the center of attention. I think you like that First Take doesn't really go to any Monday Night Football games, but they were there in Dallas. You like that Stephen A. Smith is up there in a pink bunny suit with Jerry Jones. You like it. You like the attention. You like being a Cowboy fan. It's like being a Yankees fan, being a Lakers fan, being an Ohio State fan. Except that Dallas just doesn't win. No shade. But you are the center of attention. You say you're a Cowboys fan, people talk to you. All sports has a fan base, a group of people that you can talk to. But there are certain few just kind of cross over. It's like music. It's like, yeah, you might like this local rapper. He got a little thing, but he's not Drake. It's not Kendrick Lamar. It's not Future. So when Cowboy fans say, "Oh, we wish Jerry Jones," we wish Jerry. Here's the thing: when Jerry's gone, is not like the team is going to sell to somebody totally new. They just going to Steven. I watched a documentary about the '90s Cowboys, or just the Cowboys in general, I guess. And his daughter was on there, and his daughter was like, Jerry came to her and was like, "Hey, I want you to be a part of the t-shirt." I don't have no qualifications. Like, so what? I'm the owner. That's what happens when you own something. You bring your kids on. People talk about nepotism. That's nepotism. But yeah, that's you make the money, you become the owner. You can bring your daughter on and your sons on and your grandsons on. Guaranteed jobs. That's what all of us should want for our kids. Get your education, go to college, learn some knowledge. Even if you're not exactly part of what I'm doing, don't worry, you got a guaranteed job. You got health care. You got insurance. You can buy a house. You can buy a car. You're good because your daddy took care of you. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Cowboy fans, I know you're faking. I know you're faking. You like the way it is. You don't want Jerry to go. Trust me, you don't. Maybe it'd be better with Steven. Maybe it'd be better with his grandson or whoever else. Maybe it'd be like the Colts. You know, the Jim Irsay, sadly passed away, and everybody seems to like the daughter. She's down there with the headset. She's getting information. Somehow she's making Daniel Jones into a decent quarterback. Maybe it works out for you. Maybe not. Light blue cup, I guess. The Red Cup King. What's up, Black Dr. Guru? Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you watching this BSO Live with Robert Littal. If you're on Spotify or any of the Apple Podcasts, you go look under the Headline King with Robert Littal. You'll find me. You can subscribe. You won't miss anything. We put it up. It's on the site, Black Sports Online, newly redesigned, by the way. You can check out if you miss it there, you go on YouTube. It's everywhere, basically, if you want to see it. It's everywhere if you want to see it. What's up, James? How you doing, brother? I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I gotta get Elon to put me up on the side there when I go live. Elon, put your boy up on the side. I think I muted him, and that's why I don't see any of his tweets. That's probably why I'm not up on the side. The question begs, if does any team want Ja Morant? Clearly, Memphis wants to get rid of him. Clearly, that's not going to work out. Once you go Shawn Michaels, once you lose your smile, it's hard to come back from that. Once you go Jimmy Butler, I seen it with Anthony Davis. Once a player, especially a star player, just quits, so to speak. I mean, they're out there on the floor, but they're not out there on the floor. You have no choice. Now, that kills all your trade leverage, of course, because everybody knows you got to get rid of them. But I've been trying, for like 2 days, I've been trying to figure out, where does Ja Morant fit? Like, where is a good place for him to not have his career go off the rails like it looks like it's about to? I know people have said he can come to the Miami Heat. I don't know if South Beach is the best place for him. I just don't know. Now, maybe Coach Spo, Pat Riley, they don't really play around. You're going to play a certain way. You're going to act a certain way. Maybe. But I don't know. I saw some people saw the Sacramento Kings. I watched the Sacramento play the other night. They have a collection of talented players that don't seem to know how to play together. They should be better. I mean, they got Sabonis, they got DeRozan, they got Levine, they got Russ, they got Short. I mean, they got a couple of young kids on there, but they don't seem to know how to play basketball together. So that's a little strange. I mean, I don't know. Like, all the contenders really doesn't work with his game. I saw somebody say Dallas, but what happens when Kyrie comes back? And to me, that just doesn't work. So, of course, you see people with the Lakers. I'm like, no, the Lakers are gonna, are doing what they're doing with Austin Reeves and Luka. Chris is talking about Wemby in San Antonio. I just don't think that he fits in with their culture. There. And then James speaks on the contract is a lot. So you're gonna have to give up a lot to get not it's not even so much the guns and the attitude and all that. His style of play is really not conducive to a long career. I watched a video, I think yesterday. They compared him to Steve Francis. Somebody high peak and then just kind of fell off the map. If you know what happened to Steve Francis, like what Ja Morant are you getting? I mean, are you getting the second team NBA Ja Morant, or are you getting the guy that can't shoot, whose multiple injuries are starting to take away from his athleticism and doesn't really play defense or want to play defense? That's a lot. I mean, I'm trying to see where it works, and I'm not really coming up with a team that it works for. Unless you send them to a team that it like as bad as But see, that's the thing. Like see, even the Pelicans, for example, right? The Pelicans are terrible. They probably want to get some of these guys off the team. But how does Ja Morant help them any better if they got rid of Zion or whatever? You know what I mean? Just none of it seems to work. And I feel like he's at a crossroads of his career. It's like it was he was hot when he started, but now it's not working out too well. I don't like to, if everybody parents differently, right? So you got to be careful when you talk about people's parents and how they're parenting and everything. Um, this is just, I was always taught that you never try to upstage your kids. It's like if you're at this level, you want your kids to be at that level, and you play the background and you be supportive and you do everything that you can do for them, but you never try to upstage your kids. And when your dad is trying to be usher and is getting kicked out of games and there's all this other stuff around and it just don't seem right. And I see it a lot in boxing where the dad is living vicariously through the son, and it doesn't really work out a lot of times. A lot of times it can be detrimental uh, to what they do in the ring and this court, what they do on the court. So I don't know. He's a young kid. He's made a lot of money. He's probably set for life. So it probably doesn't even really matter or anything. But, as far as his basketball career, you don't want it to be a cautionary, tale. Memphis seemed like a great place for him. And now it doesn't. And now it doesn't. And somebody has too many guns. There's too many guns in America, period. There's too many guns in America, period. You go if you have some free time, you know, and I don't know why you would want to do this, but just if you had some free time, just go, I guess now with AI, it doesn't really take that much, but just ask, where does America stand in like violent crimes with other developed, countries? And the numbers are staggering how violent of a quote unquote free society we are in comparison to other, free society. And you can find places that are, comparable um in size, and it's like, or you can do it, per capita or per amount of 100,000 people or whatever. It's awful. It's scary, and it's so scary that I talk to people like in other countries and stuff, and they're not afraid to just like walk outside because the chances of anything happening bad to them are like super super low. Like I mean, like to the point they don't think about it. Where in America, just walking outside can be dangerous. Going to the store, going to church, going to the mall, just taking a flight, getting on a bus, is like getting on a sub. Like I visited my daughter in New York, and first off, I don't know what's going on in New York with those Uber fees and Lyft fees, but that's out of control. You guys need to get that together. It is insane how much Uber will charge you to go like 9 miles in New York, like 10 miles. Like it's insane. So I was like, I met my daughter for dinner, and I was like in the city, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a Uber. I mean, not an Uber. I'll take the subway, back to the hotel. And man, it's like your head is on a swivel, man. You just people are tense right now. It's a scary, scary time. The first college football playoff rankings came out. The Ohio State University is number one. I watch Ryan Day's press conference every Tuesday virtually. Here from out here in LA. I've been covering obviously the Buckeyes for a very long time, and Ryan Day said he doesn't watch, he doesn't care, and I get it. It's good for discussions. It's good for I guess social media. It's good for the networks and all of that stuff, man. But it just means absolutely like you spend 30 minutes on saying, oh, why Texas A&M should be number one, why Indy. It doesn't matter because in the end, it all works out for itself because Indiana and Ohio State would have to play each other. Not if it just keeps going the way it's going. Texas A&M is going to have to play other teams in the SEC championship that will allow them to have. It really doesn't matter. All that matters is that especially in college, all that matters is getting into the playoffs, right? If you get in and you win one game, like say like you're not like a top 4 seed, then you are playing at neutral sites, right? Once you're playing at neutral sites, it's just man on man, mano on mano. Who's better than who? It's not like the NFL or the NBA where, the home team is going to have a 7th game, or, in the NFL, you can have home field all the way up to the Super Bowl. So there's always kind of a little bit of a disadvantage. In college, if you just get past that first game, you're basically playing on neutral sites. So who cares if you're the 8th seed or the 7th seed or the 3 seed or the 9 seed? Who cares? Who cares? Ohio State, what were they, the 8th seed, the 9th seed last year? It just blew past everybody because mano on neutral sites, nobody can hang with them. So who cares if you're number 3? Actually, the way the little bracket is set up, like the way if it was today, being a number 1 or number 2 seed wouldn't seem like the best route. Honestly, I mean, ask Oregon. And yes, I'm a big believer in the eye test, by the way, over analytics. Because first off, the teams cannot dictate what is happening to other teams around them. And I say that to say, if you're Ohio State, you have Penn State on your schedule. They're the number 2 team in the country. Some people had a number 1 team in the country to start the season. That's going to look like a 1-2, 2-3 matchup at the beginning of the year. Who knew they were going to fall off the map? So you shouldn't get penalized for what happened to other teams. Like normally, your Vanderbilts, your Missouris, and whatever are not great in the SEC, but they better, this year. So those wins look better. You have to do what I like to call, not the eye test, my guy. You have to do what I like to call the money test. The money test is this. If you had to put money on a team to win in a matchup, who'd you put your money on? Your money, not somebody else's money, your money. So if I say it right now, Ohio State is going to play Indiana next week. I think there's a good amount of people that will put money on Indiana. And there's a good amount of people that put money on Ohio State. So, there's an argument there, right? You say Ohio State and Texas A&M. I think the majority of people put money on Ohio State. Right? Because you see what you see. If you watch the games, you're like, okay, this will be interesting. This may be close. And then again, you never know what's going to happen in the games. But you're just using your brain. Say, who looks the part, right? And I watched like 4 or 5 games, and I got One good thing ESPN has done, they don't do a lot, but the whole, the multi-view and all of that stuff. So I'm watching everybody. Even though I have two little ones who like to watch Miss Rachel, I still got my TVs up and I'm trying to watch, everything because I want to be informed when I come on here and tell you guys stuff. I want to be informed about what's going on. And so I say, well, it's this. Because so many people have no idea what they're talking about. They're just talking and they're not saying anything. It's like you're not even making any sense. I mean, that's the whole thing about the haters, and the trolls. The haters and the trolls. Oh, shout out to Red Panda. Red Panda is back. Red Panda came back faster than some of these athletes. I think she fell with doing a WNBA finals game or WNBA game. And she's already back in NBA arena. Shout out to Red Panda. Red Panda's an OG, triple OG. If you never seen Red Panda at a game, I don't know how you have missed her because she's always at some game. Came back. I think she broke her wrist, went to the hospital, had a concussion, back in like 6 weeks. Red Panda's a G. OG, triple OG. Shout out to Red Panda. Before I get out of here, let me talk about Diddy. I don't want to get in too much trouble, man. That's why I put it in the back end of the show. Talk about Diddy. I'm thinking because you got to be careful in 2025. Diddy, they got some pictures of Diddy in prison with Sebastian Telfair of all people. Sebastian Telfair, who had his wife, girlfriend, and mistress all testify against him in court. I don't know how they get in the pictures, TMZ. Either it's a drone or a guard or somebody got a camera, got snuck in the phone, whatever it may be. They're pretty, for prison pictures, they're pretty clear. Diddy thinks Trump is going to pardon him. It's Trump. If I'm Trump, I probably will do it. And I tell you why. There's a contingency of people that are still strong Diddy supporters, right? They're very strong Diddy supporters. And I know Trump likes to use, black celebrities, as marketing tools. And Diddy may be the biggest marketing tool he can use going forward. Because there's a really strong contingency of people that think Diddy got screwed. That Diddy basically was guilty of just being a freak. And maybe he can use that. People think Trump is dumb. No, you're dumb. Trump is smart because he plays off dumb people. So you may think he's dumb and stupid, and no. He's very intelligent in regards to manipulation. See, that's a skill. See, intelligence can be broken off, right? Like there are certain things I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? But we talk about sports, that's different. I have a different type of intelligence for that. He's intelligent in manipulation. And Diddy would be indebted to him. If somebody pardons you from prison, where you would have been in jail for 3-4 years, he's gonna feel indebted to him. So he's gonna be like, take that with Trump. He'll be wearing the MAGA hat. So I think Trump thinks he may be able to use them in a certain way. It's a strategic move for Diddy. I mean, there's going to have to be some sort of arrangement. Hey, if I do this for you, I get you out of jail. You're supposed to be down in 2028 or whatever it was going to be. What are you going to do for me? And if you're Diddy, you're probably thinking, I have to somehow, I'm trying to get back my empire or whatever. I'm trying to get back. I want to be known because it's Diddy. See, some people in a situation like this, if they were free, they just disappear. Like Russell Simmons just disappeared. I mean, he's around, but he's like, I don't need the attention. I don't need the spotlight. I'm just going to lay low and just, I still got $100 million in the bank. I can still do what I want. I don't have to be front facing. Diddy's not like that. He has to be front facing. It's in his DNA. It is in his DNA. So, what is he going to have to do? And what is he going to want from Trump? And what is Trump going to want from him to let him out of jail? I think that's interesting. As expected, which it really boggles my mind. You know, all the elections yesterday, and a lot of them was in, Democratic states and cities. Um, the elections, went the Democrats' way because Trump is the type of person that, as he ramps up to whatever he's trying to do, he talks a good game. It's a great game. But then in reality, nothing ever actually happens, or what happens is actually terrible for the people that actually voted for him. So it takes like 4 years of deprogramming for them to realize, wait a minute, we screwed up. And then 4 years later, it's like, okay, we want to buy. Like, it's just, America is never going to be great. And the reason we're never going to be great is because we're not, the United States, we're never united. Every 4 years, every 8 years, whatever the other person, like whatever Obama did for 8 years, and Trump comes in, takes it all away. Then Biden comes in and takes all the Trump stuff away. Then Trump comes back and takes all of the Biden stuff away. And then Gavin Newsom will probably win, take all the Trump stuff away. That'll last for 4 or 30 years. And then Charlie Kirk's wife will win or something. And then she'll take all that stuff away. And then, you know what I mean? It's just a revolving circle. And that's what it's what is it called? I forgot the name of it. I was on the tip of my tongue. But it's just a revolve. It just goes around and around and around, and so it'll be like that pretty much until we all die. not the most positive thing to leave you on a Wednesday for, but there's facts, not feelings. Take that, take that, take that. Yeah, Diddy. I do think Diddy at some point is going to get out of jail, and Trump is probably going to be the one that does it, and then you're going to see Diddy at the White House dancing. And I don't know how people are going to feel about that, but hey, I guess it's better than a prison cell and bologna sandwiches. This has been BSO Live with your boy, Robert Littal. See you on Friday for Robe Talk.